Let's get educated. That's why we're here, to bring you the stories impacting K-12 classrooms and college campuses. It's time for a little education.
Hello everyone, I am Katie Patrick, joined by David Fiorazzo. His term has not ended yet. He is still in the chair.
Yes, I am.
So it's the beginning of the week here, and we're going to give you all the goods and mostly the bads, but hopefully a couple goods.
Challenging stories, yes.
But of course we begin with the bads. So instead of suspending and expelling students for misbehaving, as students sometimes do, a California school district is now sending kids to implicit bias training and reprogramming. 1984. Are you there? It's me, Katie.
Wasn't that the year that Olivia Newton-John's song Physical came out?
You know,
Was
it might have been.
Look
but
that up.
these kids are getting physical, but if they are getting physical, then it doesn't matter because they're just going to get reprogrammed.
Okay, so let's talk about this. My quick thought when I first saw this story was...
Your hot take.
Yeah, my hot take was it's not necessarily punishment to be suspended, because then you're home and you're away from the garbage. But this is punishment because they're putting these kids through diversity trainings instead of suspending them. So that's interesting. I know the school has an agenda here. That's a California school district. I know they have an agenda to diversify, the old DEI on steroids. But it's Poway, P-O-W-A-Y Unified School District. They offered staff training on is it restorative or restorative? I think it's restorative practice within the district, which includes focusing on repairing harm rather than receiving punishment for breaking a rule. And there it is. There's the practice, that restorative practice, a powerful approach to conflict resolution that focuses on repairing harm. I think this is punishment.
This is the harm is being inflicted just now on the kids who have to be in there because they inflicted supposed harm on the other kids or teachers, who knows.
Right. So it says, quote, although well-intentioned, heavy-handed programming like Poway's is often counterproductive because it demonizes and shames participants, leading to a backlash, while failing to actually change individuals' underlying opinions in their hearts, alienating employees who now understand that to their district they are the enemy because of their wrongthink. And here's the statement by Nicole, was it Neely?
Neely.
President of Parents Defending Education. Your thoughts, KP? Katie?
Yep, this is exactly what has happened now. So I remember back when I was in school that it was that turn from like dealing with bullying, the zero tolerance for bullying, all this, and then more bullying came out of it. And then now we've shifted completely to this. If a kid does something that we deem not appropriate, and it doesn't have to be like bullying in any definition, but just that it goes against our way of thinking or the district's way of thinking. Now they have created this like outlet so that the kids have to now get reprogrammed, so that they're trying to alleviate not the behavior that they've done, but their complete way of thinking, which is even more dangerous to the overall society because now you're reprogramming these kids not to just realize, hey, you did something wrong, don't do it again. It's now let's shift their brain in a way that aligns with whatever their narrative may be. It's more dangerous.
Yeah, I believe it is too. And isn't it? It's not repairing harm.
Yes, the terminology they use.
It's brainwashing. You can use look up your Webster's Dictionary, look up synonyms for brainwashing. But it says the training given to staff notes that the restorative response team, which it states is aimed at addressing incidents of bias, is looking for more members who are able to address sensitive issues related to race and identity, the documents show.
Yep. So what's happening now is we used to have it where the adults in the room were the adults in the room, and all the adults in the room
It's very profound. Let me see if I can absorb that.
Yes, they were.
Okay.
So all the adults were on the same page. Discipline, the way, if students misbehave, it's the adults and it's the students.
Yeah.
Now you have the adults, but if these certain adults don't have that, what did they call it? Sensitivity, as you said?
Yes.
The ones who are comfortable discussing these issues. Now you're putting a narrow scope on these individuals, and those individuals have their own narrative that they are going to try and place onto these students, which, as we saw what Neely's comment said about being the enemy, and because of their wrong think, now students will have to be corrected by only this very small window of adults.
Yep. And what are they most concerned about? It mentions it right here, just 3 things. They could have mentioned all kinds of things. They could have been general.
Could have been,
but
like just human nature things to alleviate. But no.
But they said anti-blackness, anti-Hispanic or Latinx, and anti-LGBTQ plus issues. These are the 3 big ones.
That's their focal point.
And doesn't that fall under the umbrella of DEI?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all of it. Well, this thing is the presentation they did. It promotes the ADL's left-wing, which isn't a left-wing, anti-hate activist organization, their No Place for Hate campaign. Let's take a look at that. The No Place for Hate, they had a 2020-2021 coordinator handbook and a resource guide, and it shows that moments of anti-bias, such as, microaggressions and bullying or slurs, can eventually lead to genocide. Oh, well, that's a little aggressive to say. A microaggression, and they're saying it can lead to genocide.
Okay, how do you get from one point to the other point?
Not even,
Genocide.
not even suicide, which is also quite a stretch here, but to say genocide,
wow.
Everyone's going down in this. Why can't we just, as a society,
Oh, boy.
back in our great-grandparents' days,
Yeah, what would our great-grandparents think?
way back when, why can't we go back to a time when parents and grandparents and just adults were able to demonstrate to children the way you should behave in civil society? And then you didn't have as many incidents like we continue to have today. And if you did have those incidents, they were corrected quickly, up quick and in a hurry.
Oh, boy.
And you learned real quick, real quick, and it never happened again. Instead, as my husband has rightly pointed out to me, we have a society right now, and a generation especially, where we know all of the issues that we have going on, and yet we do nothing to actually resolve them. We've diagnosed ourselves with all the different isms and all the different things happening, but we won't take that step to correct any of them, because that actually takes work. That actually takes discipline. That actually takes any effort. So instead, we just sit here and diagnose everything as, everything is bullying, and I have this issue and that issue, and all just the isms are galore, but we can't actually take the one step to make a difference, to make it better, because then we would lose all our power.
So now we're not, we're all against hate.
Correct.
We're all against
Absolutely.
The true definition of hate. But they are making, if you disagree with them, their worldview, their ideology, then you're hating them. That's not true. Just final statement here. It says, under the discipline and restorative justice practices, part of its website, it says the school district notes that it is revising its policies to, quote, improve consistent implementation and a more robust approach to racial slurs, hate language, and behavior. Be careful of the hate language. We've been warning on this show for years. Be careful. Maybe not years, but since we started, the hate language. But anyway, we've got to move on. Still to come, a professor actually claims that kids should be exposed, to naked adults as much as possible. Why? To prepare them for when they inevitably see a naked trans person. We're discussing this professor's comment and why her Twitter account has suddenly been locked down. We'll be right back.
All right, I'm just going to let everyone know right now. If you are considering going to college to become a journalist and you want to study journalism, do not do it. Don't even, just stop right now, pick a new major. Do not study journalism, because if you do, then you're going to have to turn into a University of British Columbia journalism professor who is all about thinking that kids, children, youngins should look at naked people, adults. This is the brain. This is your brain on journalism degrees, apparently.
Yeah, I mean,
if you get a journalism degree, you might as well get a women's studies degree and just call it a day.
You won't be able to do your job in the true definition of the profession of journalism, especially if you're a Bible-believing Christian or conservative, or even if you want to tell both sides of the story and here's what's happening, let the people decide. You will not be able to do that in journalism. But this is another reason. The journalism professors, whether it's here or in the UK or wherever it might be, they're nuts.
Yeah, sure. She's nuts, but she wants you to look at other people's nuts. All right. Journalism professor at the University of British Columbia. Her name is Dr. Katja Thiam, or Thiam, or Thiam,
Katja.
or however she pronounces her last name. Well, she tweeted out, or X'd out. What are we calling it these days? Anyone
I don't know?
Do you tweet now, or do you X?
I'm still tweeting. You can exit if you want.
Whatever. She put a post out there that claimed that kids should be exposed to adult genitalia to prepare them for the possibility of seeing a naked trans person. So she also criticized swimmer and women's rights advocate Riley Gaines.
Of course.
If you know who Riley Gaines is, there she be. She was at the University of Kentucky.
Hero.
NCAA swimmer, amazing swimmer, female swimmer. And
why did you have to say female?
Because she took fifth, rightfully so, should have been standing on the podium with the fifth place trophy, but was not allowed to because Leah Thomas, better known as William Thomas.
Because he won the trophy.
Wait
a minute, he didn't win, but he got the trophy?
He got the trophy because they only had one trophy. There wasn't supposed to be a tie.
Okay.
But they said at the time it would be better if William Thomas was able to hold the trophy. And so she then, Riley Gaines, has become an advocate for women's rights to, swim against other women and get credit for swimming against other women. So here's what happened. Thiam, the doctor, journalism professor, was actually shown a video of Gaines explaining the effects of having to compete against Will Thomas. All right, so Riley's saying, here's how it went down.
And then this professor is responding to...
Yeah, so let's take a look at what Riley actually said.
But on March 17th of last year, my teammates and I and other female swimmers from universities around the country were forced to compete against a biological male named Leah Thomas. Thomas was allowed to compete in the women's division after competing as a member of the University of Pennsylvania's men's swim team for 3 years. We watched on the side of the pool as Thomas won a national title in the 500-yard freestyle, beating out the most impressive and accomplished female athletes in the country, including Olympians and American record holders. Whereas just the year before, Thomas at best was ranking in the 400s in the men's category. The next day, Thomas and I raced in the 200 freestyle, which ended up in a tie. We went the exact same time down to the 100th of a second. Having only one trophy, the NCAA told me that I would go home empty-handed and this trophy would go to Thomas. And when I questioned this, the NCAA told me that Thomas had to hold it for photo purposes. I was shocked. I felt betrayed and belittled, reduced to a photo op. But my feelings didn't matter. What mattered to the NCAA were the feelings of a biological male.
Yes. Okay. So that's the rehash.
Did she say he was in the 400s? I didn't realize he was that low on the men's swimming totem pole.
Yep. But amazing on the women's team. Anyway, so that's the video that this professor saw, and then she decided she had to tweet out her reaction to said video. And here's what it was. Hey, want to know one of my all-time excellent parenting ideas?
Oh, jeez.
Again, journalism professor, her English skills, what you're about to see are quite aggressive. After every word, if you're not watching us and just listening, after every word I'm about to say, she put a period.
Period.
Here we go. Let little children see penises and vulvas of various ages and sizes in a casual, normalized, totally safe way.
That's kind of... Wait a minute. Casual, normalized, totally safe way. Some of those words don't go together.
A lot of those words.
In the context that she's describing?
Well, in
the world will thank you for it.
Okay, when she puts that she wants them to see the genitalia of various ages and sizes. So you want your...
Normalized. What does normalized mean anymore? Yeah. I wonder what my great-grandparents would think was normal.
Would they? But there's more to that tweet. There's more to that tweet that we didn't read.
There is?
the world will thank you for it. And so will those children when they grow up. I mean, the world is going to thank you for letting all the children see all of the genitalia.
So she's speaking for the world.
But there's even more. The professor also claimed that incidents involving women who are uncomfortable after encountering biological males in locker rooms fuels anti-trans activism. Ooh. And then she continued, even more. Teenage girl on the swim team sees or claims to have seen a trans person in the nude in the women's change room. Her anti-trans parent or parents kick into high gear. They lean on coaches, tell trans folks to change elsewhere. Coach says, no, we can't. That's discriminatory. Then they lean on the club admin. Send a warning message to all members that trans folk are using these facilities. Admin says, hell no. That's crazy and would be very wrong. They contact Riley Gaines or other transphobes of their choice. They organize protests, events, meetings, hearings, and whatnot. This is a journalism professor tweeting to the world gobbledygook and advocating for children, again, we can't emphasize this enough, children, little kids, to look at male genitalia if they're female, and if they're male, look at female genitalia, and think it's all okay. This is what apparently journalism has become.
Yeah, and this woman, we're not even talking about what is appropriate in what she is suggesting. We're just talking about something that is evil. It is evil to sexualize young children, especially if they're not your own. I mean, you can teach your own kids at home what you want to teach them. Sadly, some parents do in the wrong ways. But this is just not surprising, I guess, because she's in the university system.
University.
And
but on the positive, that her Twitter profile is now private and no one can see it. So yay! We win.
She probably got
Dr. Katja.
just a little pushback. Is she masked?
Of course.
Masked in that photo, by the way?
Yes, of course. Yes. All right. Well, when we come back, in their latest debacle, Disney has teamed up with a transgender TikTok influencer to promote Minnie Mouse. Everything that Minnie Mouse wears, her dresses and all the accessories that, little girls like to use. Why are we not surprised at this? Are we? I'm not. We're going to talk about it next.
Today's show is sponsored by our friends at MyPillow. Save up to 66% on pristine quality bedding, towels, slippers, signature pillows, and much more when you use the code EDUCATED. That's EDUCATED. Educated. Support this show and a great American company.
You literally do not. That's the response that I have for this TikTok influencer who has teamed up with Disney to promote girls' apparel. He said, I literally look like Minnie Mouse. And see why my response is, you literally do not.
Oh, brother.
A transgender influencer named Sean Altman, who you can see is a biological male, identifies as gender fluid, created a promotional TikTok video for Disney Style. It's the company's social media brand promoting Disney-themed clothing, makeup, and accessories. And in the video, which was first reported by the Twitter account at Leftism4You, he provides a dress-up tutorial to look like Minnie Mouse. Now, the video was subsequently posted to Disney Style's official TikTok account. Let's take a look.
Let's get dressed. Today we're looking at the most iconic friend group, Disney's Mickey and Friends. And the character most like me is Minnie Mouse. And I have the most perfect dress to start the look. It even has little Mickeys on it, and I love how bold of a red it is. It's just like Minnie. I'm thinking of layering a fun collar, like this one, just to give it a little more flair. But now I feel like the dress needs more shape, so let's add this white petticoat under it. It's so fun to move in, and I love how it peeks out at the bottom. And to add even more shape, this belt should do the trick. Now for hair, I'm thinking of doing space buns. So let's pull out my hair donuts, and just like that, it kinda looks like I have Minnie ears. And Minnie wears gloves, so I need gloves. I'm also gonna add this watch with Minnie and all her friends on it. It's so cute. But now, to be as bold as Minnie, I need a bold red lip. It's a classic, and it's so pretty. Now, let's add some black tights and pull out the iconic yellow pump. I'm just like Minnie Mouse. But wait, something's missing. I know. How could I forget? A giant red bow, the biggest fashion statement. And now, the look is complete. I literally look like Minnie Mouse, and I fit in perfectly with Mickey and his friends. The bow, with the dress and the shoes, really sealed the deal. Now I'm fashionable, bold, and fun, just like Minnie Mouse.
No.
Just no.
Just no. Minnie Mouse is iconic.
can I-
You are not.
Can I clarify
Minnie
something?
Mouse.
Is Disney behind this, or
Yes.
is this his own?
No, this
he
is-
did this on his own. Are they? I know they're supporting this line of whatever they're selling.
Disney, it's part of Disney Styles.
Okay, part of Disney
Disney
Styles, and that
Styles,
is a line
official
of what?
TikTok.
Disney Styles
account,
What
and
what
they-
is that? Well, you can buy stuff for Disney or from Disney. I don't know.
Yes, they promote Disney-themed clothing,
Okay.
makeup, and accessories.
Okay, I just needed to hear that again, I guess, because Disney obviously doesn't care that they're losing customers. They're getting pushback. I mean, in the last several animated features, they've lost hundreds of millions of dollars at the box office. They don't care. And they're offending people. And there we go.
It's
We
becoming,
did a story on this a couple
yes,
months ago.
It's becoming more aggressive. This is the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, where they had a man dressed as one of the helpers for the little girls to go get dressed up as a princess.
I remember that.
It's becoming more aggressive. I mean, even now, we think back to Lightyear when they decided to, we have a gay character, or the first lesbian kiss, or whatever it was. Oh, okay. We're already to the trans stuff. We're already to men dressing as women and thinking that they should influence little girls and boys to, dress as however you want and do all these things. And you can be whatever gender you want. It's full steam ahead. And that's not the train that Disney intended to have. If you know anything about Disney, Walt Disney loved trains.
Yeah, corporate wokeness, they're leading the way. I mean, into Disney, Target, Starbucks, some of these other companies. But this is sad because what they're doing, it's nothing. What Bud Light did pales in comparison. They're marketing a beer. They can do whatever they want to adults. Disney is targeting children. Young children. This is the problem here, friends, when we're talking about other corporations doing whatever. This is just their choice. They can lose money, but here, boycott. There's a lot of your families are still going to Disneyland, Disney World. Forgive me for implying that you should not, but they're not going to get the message unless they lose an exorbitant amount of money, because of the hundreds of millions of dollars they've lost, and their stock plummeting, I think 44% in 1 year. That has not sent the message yet. So they need more pushback. I just want to get that out because they're targeting children and normalizing this behavior that is godless, so it goes against the biblical worldview, and it's dangerous for your children to start thinking this is normal. Boys can be boys, girls can be girls. The next thing is hormones and quote, sex change or surgeries that are very dangerous. This whole thing is dangerous. Put the dangerous by Disney. Disney dangerous. Sorry. I'm off my soapbox. Thank you for listening.
All right, well, still to come, we have a TikToker who goes by Chip Girl, who has set the internet on fire as she debuts all the things her implanted chip can do. Okay, I guess we'll discuss this next.
If you have a smartphone, tablet, Roku, or Apple TV, consider downloading the FreedomProject Media app. It's 100% free and includes all of our weekly shows, plus lecture series, archive programs, and award-winning animated videos for families like the Presidential Minute, Battles of America, and Heroes of the West. Don't rely on the social media giants to keep you informed. Simply download the Freedom Project Media app from your app store and allow notifications. And we'll let you know when a new video is ready.
All right, this next story is just a head scratcher. I mean, we all love technology when it's convenient, but we don't look at the possibilities of being controlled or tracked by technology. So here's a story, an influencer. I'm so tired of that word. This person is thrilled to use RFID technology, the implant, to pay for groceries at Whole Foods. And she says, that's the coolest thing ever. So before we comment on this, because you know what we're going to say, I mean, she's clueless, but watch the video.
I'm at Whole Foods and I'm about to pay for my groceries with my... It'll work. That's the coolest thing ever.
I call myself Chip Girl because I have an RFID chip inside of my hand that unlocks things around our house. Today somebody asked me what I can open with my hand, so I'm going to show you. This is also a door that it opens. We've also got that door's a little bit harder to open, but we've got a snack cupboard. We've got another door that it opens. It also opens our bedroom door, as well as our office, as well as the drawers in our office. This is our nightstand, which can also be opened with our chip. Our closet is chipped. And this is really cool. We can chip all of the doors. Look at it. We can even lock up our towels. See? What the? So chip lock my makeup room. Chip guy has an even cooler chip. He's got a dual chip. And he can hold information, like a website or a social media page. Okay, back to unlocking things. Here's another door that we can chip. This is another chip to get into our summer closet. And another door. We also chipped the gym. And the elevator! What the tech? Oh, whoops, it was already unlocked. Ta-da! We've also chip locked our gift wrapping room, which is a complete mess. We've also chippied the hallway and the cinema room. Oh, I almost forgot. We have these RFID vent safes. Each of the kids has their own, so they can hide their own treats and their siblings won't eat it.
We have gotten to the point where we've run out of things to be influencing for, like talents to really have. So now this girl has, her name, by the way, is Burgundy. So I understand why Chip Girl wants, it sounds more like a superhero than Burgundy. 4.8 million followers because
oh my goodness,
she is Chip Girl. Oh, it says she's a law student, wife, bonus mom, innovator, entrepreneur,
she's an
dog
influencer.
mom.
She's an influencer.
She,
and, what does that mean? She's influencing naive, gullible young people.
All people, all ages.
Yes.
At this point.
And so let me just, before we run out of time, I've got to clarify something. This chip that people have, just be careful, friends, going along with something that's convenient, this technology. I just want to point you to Revelation chapter 13, because everyone thinks, well, is this, when is the mark of the beast? You hear a lot about the mark of the beast. Everyone once thought it was a barcode, right, a tattoo. Well, it says, Revelation 13, verse 16, the beast forced all people, great and small, rich and poor, to receive a mark on their right hands or on their foreheads, so that they could not buy or sell unless they had the mark, which is the name of the beast and the number of his name. And it says this calls for wisdom. And so don't be naive. This calls for wisdom. There will be a time when people will be limited by technology on whether you are allowed to buy groceries or sell your products to try to survive. This is a very real thing. People like this have no idea what's coming, Katie.
But she's got everything on lockdown except for her
towels.
chip. What is she hiding?
They're locking towels up?
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
And was that her husband taking a picture of himself? And these narcissists,
he's
man.
probably locked down too.
Oh, I wish we
right.
had more time, but we don't.
All right. Well, if you are a fan of the show,
Get me
if
going.
you could get a chip implanted to unlock
Jeez, no.
things. No, that's wrong. That's not right.
Wait, scratch that. Take that out.
Yeah. All right. Like, comment, share the video, subscribe. Don't get a chip implanted. But for David and myself, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And thank you for supporting what we do here. Until next time, stay educated.